Good evening, brothers and sisters. This is your brother Alejandro Ibrahim, founder and host of KYP, coming to you again with another round of conscious news and information. Today, we'll be doing a Q&A session. I posted some questions up on my Instagram, and that I believe that my followers want me to answer on the podcast. So I said, you know what? Let's see what we got. And today, I got 7 questions, which for me is a lot because I can spend at least 5 minutes on the question. So I mean, 5 times 7, that's about 35 minutes of a podcast. But today we're gonna, try to keep it short as usual. So the first question is, how do you think the black community will look like in the next 30 years? That's a very good question. Honestly, I don't know. I think that in the next 30 years, the black community will be a direct result of the struggle that the black community is having right now, which is a struggle between, I think, people who are really seeing the past and what we need to take away from it, and those who are kind of just going into the modern social movements, no matter if they benefit or don't benefit black people. I think that next 30 years is going to be a strong divide among black people because a lot of black conscious people are going to really be seeing that what's going on ain't really it, and they're going to be divided versus those who are aligning more with society versus the true nature of the people. So that's what's going to look like next 30 years. I think the black community is going to be more divided than it is now, and the myth of full black unity will not be achieved. But there will be black unity to some degree in certain area groups, such as a conscious group, because I think that they'll be more unified now versus um, how they are right now. Because I think a lot of us are beginning to see similarities in our belief systems as time goes on. The second question is, why farming? The reason why I promote farming, and I think it's important for every black person to promote, is that um, food is how we live. Without food, we won't be alive. I think Thomas Sankara said it best: "Whoever feeds you controls you." And if you look at it, as black people, our eating habits are bad. Family, the primary killer of black people is not um, coronavirus. It's not even the cops. It's not even black on black crime. So-called black on black crime is really pulmonary heart disease. That's what kills black people the most. Our eating habits are bad, and that's one of those things we gotta get out of. So farming is important because if we produce our own food, we won't have to go to Walmart no more. Have to worry about these GMOs they're putting out here. We can produce our own food. Fruits, which are very important for detoxing. We gotta produce that on our own. We gotta stop going to Whole Foods because we buy Whole Food. Their prices are so expensive, and that's the real deal a lot of times. And you see what they're already doing. Instead, we go to these fast food joints. So if we eat better, we do better. A lot of our health is structured around what we eat. You can't be eating fast food all the time and expect to have a perfect health. Excuse me. It's not gonna work. So we gotta eat better. And the first step is growing your own food. Grow our own food. We can control our own selves. We can do better. But we can't keep on going to these corporations and taking what they got. Farming is important again because we gotta eat to live, as the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said. Food is the essence of how we survive. So without food, we can't get nowhere. I encourage farming on all levels, including so small scale farming and large scale farming, as long as it's helping people. But without farming, we won't get far, family. So we have to eat the right foods and we have to grow the right foods. We gotta start growing more fruits and vegetables. A lot of times I post on my Instagram story my farm. We got peppers, we got bitter tomatoes, African eggplants. That's what we call them. They call bitter tomatoes. We got sorrel. We got I even got some tomatoes growing. I got some herbs too. I got some basil. I got some mint that I like to put in like my tea and other things. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get a juicer because I'm trying to juice some fruits because fruits are important for detoxing. But things like that is what we got to do. And imagine farming can also help bring revenue to young people. We gotta start teaching our young people skills that they can actually do on their own. Personally, I believe that all of us should have at least some type of garden in our backyard. Preferably start out with a herbal garden so that you can put something medicinal in your foods. But something like that is very important so that we can get the right things in us. You understand? Um, that stuff is just very important. So if we had, suppose this, right, three brothers get together, get some land, rent it out, or even rent it out to where they have a watermelon patch. Take that revenue and start saving up to where they can buy or help secure a loan to even purchase that land in the future. That's what we need to be doing. But we can't be out here crying about racism a lot of times. We don't understand that the primary killer of black people that is part of racism is bad eating. I don't know how to stress this enough. Our leaders are lying to us when they try to pin it always on police brutality or the system in terms of government, how we don't get a lot of politics when the number one killer of black people is our bad eating. I'm sorry if this upsets some of y'all, but if we don't eat better, we're not gonna make it. And that's the number one killer. We know diabetes runs crazy in the black community. I can do an episode on the problem of eating about how soul food, while it is said to help the soul, it's also killing your soul at the same time because you die before you need to. So we need to get into talks like these if we want to get anywhere. So farming is important so that we can grow our own food organically, um, by ourselves, and we can actually do something with it and help the masses of black people. So if you're listening to this, think about how you can get a watermelon patch, how you can, give other things to people, how you can produce your own food so that you can bring in some type of revenue. You don't have to depend on the white man for it. We can set up our own black farmers markets. The white man taking all his money from his own farmers market. Let's set up our own black farmers markets. That's what we had back in the day, and that's what we can do. Things like that. But we gotta get out of this mentality of not doing for self. You really want to do for self? Farming is very important, and you don't need to get no degree in agriculture for that. All you need to do is just practice Sankofa, going back to your roots. I don't have a farming degree at all. My dad, though, he grew up on a farm in Nigeria. He just brought those same tools, used them here, and taught them to me. Now, he does have a degree in agriculture, but at the same time, I don't learn so much from him. I don't need to go to school to learn how to plant a plant. I know how to plant a plant on my own. You can check my Instagram story. I showed y'all last year, and I'll show y'all again how much things were growing out here. We even sell those to African stores and other people, so we giving back to the black community through agriculture. So that's important right there. How can you give back? And food is a very important type of way. Number three. Now this question, I'm gonna do a little bit of assumption of how he meant it, but he said, "How do we sell black people to black people the way white people do?" So I'm assuming he's saying, "How do we sell our own sales to our people in a positive way, the way white people sell us to the general public?" And in a sense, if you're talking about from a black conscious standpoint, we gotta sell ourselves in a very righteous way, in a way of how should I say, redeeming qualities, to where we can actually touch the masses of black people. In terms of consciousness, selling consciousness does not make you money. There's a saying I heard the other day, and even though I don't call myself woke, because today woke is every little thing under the sun. I ain't got nothing to do with black people. But you can't be woke and broke. So we can't be out here spitting this truth but be broke at the same time. So we gotta make our own circles, our own how should I say, institutions around that and try to sell it. Now you can already look in certain things like hip hop, conscious rap. You won't make a lot of money from that today at all. You're gonna have to say a little something, something, something in there to really get people's attention a little bit, even if it is conscious. All right. So in terms of like hip hop, for example, this something's gonna be difficult to sell. But in terms of entertainment, knowledge based thing, we should already have something like, how BET's already out here doing this. BET should really be us spreading consciousness and black excellence to other people. Why don't BET host HBCU football games? Why don't they do stuff like that? That's what I always tell people. We got a whole black network, and technically it's not ours because black people don't even own it anymore. The brother sold it. But technically speaking, it's supposed to be black entertainment, but it's really showing the dirtiness and the filth of the community. Whether you want to admit or not, showing Baby Boy, showing what's this other Training Day, and even though that's a good movie, it's not helping black people. It's showing a black dirty cop. So the question is, when do we start seeing what's negative and start turning it into positivity? You can't want black people to come out of all this poverty, hood life and everything, but you promote the hood life, and that's what we gotta understand. The entertainment industry is probably the biggest weapon, because they can go and propagandize any belief they want, shove it in our faces until our brain, which is really our computer system, which Dr. Francis Cress Welsing talks about how our brain is really a computer system, begins to literally do the computer science and whatever and internalize it and act accordingly. So we have to begin to, how should I say, de I don't know, I was thinking of a word, but if I could say, de-educate ourselves out the constant media that's being thrown to us. So for that question, really, we gotta start selling our people in a positive light. Are you gonna make a lot of money from it? No, you're not. But that's in the beginning stage, because people are catching on slowly to the truth, and it hits them, they're gonna start to understand. Oh, another question that I had was, what institutions are you doing mentorship right now for brothers? As I said, I'm part of the Mental Achievement Center, so part of that, we read to the children on Fridays. We read to children in elementary school. We help them with their reading. I'm also applied to be a youth mentor to some young brothers that's gonna start around the summer, go through the school year. I also am a part of the running club, help start a running club in the Mental Achievement Center. So we run, but that's what I'm doing right now. But I'm also got some more things I'm planning on doing. I'm not gonna speak on because it's not finalized. But I'm doing about those three things right now. Help my dad here on the farm. We sell stuff, and I always tell brothers, if you ever need any help or anything, talk to me, and I'll give you some good advice. I'm young just like y'all, but at the same time, I'm going through life. I'm just telling you my standpoint, and a lot of brothers like to come and talk to me and ask me what I think on things. So I respect that. Now this question, people have asked me this question: interracial relationships, dating, how you feel about women who date outside, blah 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 blah. People have asked me this question for years. Past 2 years, people always ask me this. A couple people asked me this on the questionnaire I put up on my Instagram page. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? So people want me to go more in depth. So I'm just going to hit it where it is. At the end of the day, I support the black man being with the black woman. Simple. No disrespect to anybody else who does anything else. Again, I can't control that, but I'm saying that if you really about your people, the black man needs to commit to the black woman, and the black woman needs to commit to the black man in a marriage relationship. That's what I'm standing for. Sorry, I can't get any more deeper than that. I think it's very wrong of me to really be out here in the essence of entertaining these other things. People try to come to me and say, "Hey, Alejandro, how you feel about this? How you feel about it?" Listen, I'm gonna maintain this position clearly. I believe in a black man being with a black woman and vice versa. Simple, with no discussion. People say, "Why do you believe that?" Listen, first of all, how you gonna want black power but not want the thing that makes black power? We know that white supremacy's main goal is to stop black healthy relationships. This is documented. We can see this with the war on drugs, the welfare. We know they hate black families. We just know this. Look on your TV screen. They literally cut the brother out of the dang on family now these days. I'm just being real. And I'm very passionate about this because I'm the product of a black family. My parents are products of black families. And I can't sit here and say that a black family had to help me because a black family what made me the way I am today. And I see the benefits of it. I see that, hey, while I'm out here and my dad's out here giving me guidance on how to be a respectable young man, my brother out here, he don't have a father in his life. So he gets tied up with the wrong people. And sometimes the brother that do get tied up with the wrong people, a lot of times too, they not here no more. All to everybody on here, we all know a brother out here who used to, have humble beginnings, but now he's in a bad state, or he might not even be on this earth no more because of the lack of the black family. A lot of times, we got to be real with ourselves. Black man plus black woman, that's the only thing that creates black power. It is. That's what made Shaka Zulu. That's what made all our warrior leaders, By Brer and Sierra Leone, who fought off the British. That's what's made all of our warriors. We can't sit here and say that we about black power, but we don't promote the black family. The black family is the building block to black power. It's the core of the black community. And the reason why we're going through so much struggle is because of the lack of the black family. I can show you this. The black man's out of order today because of the lack of the black family. The black woman's out of order because of the lack of black family. We all out of order because of that. There are a lot of brothers and sisters out here who say, I haven't seen a healthy black relationship. And that hurts me because I grew up in one for 19 going plus years of my life. And they haven't seen a successful one. How you gonna get mad at brothers and say, "Oh, why are black men out here killing each other? Why are they doing what they doing?" But a lot of these brothers haven't had a positive or haven't even had a father in their life. But you don't want to promote the black family. It don't work like that. No other institution but the black family is the center of the black community. That's the only thing that's gonna build black wealth. That's the only thing that's gonna be building black moral and character. You can't sit out here and say you for your people and not be for that. I understand some of us want to indulge in other things that are not with black people, want to love who you love. At the end of the day, I can't control that. I'm not God. If you want to do that, that's your business. I'm going to still treat you and respect you. Yes, I'm going to do that. But, can't sit up here talking all this black power stuff and you out here not doing what you're supposed to be doing. The most revolutionary thing you can do is, as a black man, marry a black woman. The most revolutionary thing you do as a black woman is marry a black man. Because for centuries, since the moment we step foot in America, since the moment we step foot in Barbados, even in Africa, they try to break us up. You can't be out here talking black power and doing this. So I'm sorry. So all the people out there who disagree with that, you cannot. All right. Black marriage is on an all-time low. In the 1960s and before 1960, black men actually married more than white men, and we were the minority. We were more likely to get married because we promoted marriage. We had debutantes. We said, hey, part of life is getting married. But today, we got brothers and sisters saying, I don't want to get married, but they just want to have sex. We're not gonna blanket it here. What type? There's no honor in that. There's no honor in that. Just sleeping around. There's no honor in that. Brothers, studies show that married men live longer. Think about that. We out here dying at 40 alone. But I know brothers out here, I know elders out here, 80 years old, still married happily. Because they got a companion, they got a lifelong friend and ally. But you out here just playing around with these young sisters out here. You ain't getting nothing. We gotta fix this. If you don't get the black family black, we might as well just toss in the towel. All this conscious junk we be talking, all this conscious stuff we be talking about, all this other junk we talk about, everything we talk about, it don't matter if we're not getting the black family. We can talk about Amanetta, Amen Ra, all these other things, Moorish temple science, Hebrew Israelite, the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, all these other stuff. We can talk about it. But if we're not building a black family, we not getting nowhere with it. You can't say you Pan African or you Hebrew Israelite or you Moorish, and you're not even with the foundation of the black community, which is the black family. You out here indulging in something else. So that's my stance on it. If you're not for the black, if you're not about the black man, the black woman being in married relationships, honestly, you're not for the community. And that's simple like that. I don't care what you have to say. We need black marriage. We need black men fall in love with black women and black women fall in love with black men. We don't need no more shibby shabby, none of this hit it and live it. Now, we don't need none of that crap. That's all crap that we got from indoctrination of colonization and slavery. We don't need none of that. What we need right now is commitment, and we need us to get back to our throne. We can't expect change but not do the little things. Y'all out here protesting this Black Lives Matter, but at the same time, we're not talking about black marriage matters. It don't work like that now. You can't be out here doing that. You gotta build it, because the training room, the boot camp, is the black family household. That's where you train. That's the manufacturing space of black power. So when that child steps out of the base and you put him in that war zone, whether that's school, whether that's corporate America, whether it's that job, he can fight his war effectively where he is. But if you're not training it with the black family, how do you expect this child to fight this war? How do you expect us to fight this war of white supremacy on black people? It don't add up. If we can't do the little things, we can't do the big things. So all this belief of black people coming together, us getting something high, you can forget that if you're not about the black family. I'm telling you straight up, point blank, all that will not happen. We are struggling today because of lack of family. We talk about breaking generational curses, but some of us don't want to get married. You carrying on a generational curse. That's the ignorance we talk about sometimes. I know I'm very heated about this. I'm very passionate. I'm not angry, but I'm just talking about, I'm tired of people not understanding that the black family is really what they fear the most. This is honestly the one institution that they fear the most. They won't even care about black people being in power because they still manipulate us in that position. They want the black family to be gone. And they're succeeding right now because we are not learning from history. Internalize that, brothers and sisters. If you want black power, you need the black family. Simple, period, point blank. Next question. This is a hard question, y'all. I know I answer this, Brother Grant. You a crazy brother for putting this way. His question was loyalty or love, which is more important in a relationship? That's a difficult question. Um, we all want love. Love to me is a difficult topic in America because I feel like the love of the 1950s ain't the same as the love is today. Because back then in the 1950s, couples were more unique, more based off what they believed in. But today, love is pretty much what people see other people do a lot of times. They want them to do it. So a celebrity gets this girl a Lamborghini, they want their man to get them a Lamborghini. And the funny thing is that they're not even married. They dating, which is more funny to me. But that's a whole nother convo. Another thing is also, who says you can't love more than one person? You understand? So that's another question that we're dealing with. Polygamy. Brothers having multiple wives, and that's a whole nother topic. For the record, I ain't got nothing against it. I would never personally do it though, because that's just not me. But that does have benefits again. But that's another topic. But loyalty, that's loyalty is one thing that you always want, especially as a black man. You always want loyalty. Um, as men, we're very protective of our women. So that's a man who's married to his wife. He's very protective of her. Period. Point blank. But ain't nothing like having a sister who got your back. You know, you out there in the world, and she right there beside you. She got your back, man. Back to back with you. You getting hit from the north. You getting hit from the north. She ready to help you out, man. You know, y'all find the north and the south side. Y'all both got it. Y'all both pinning the enemy down. So I mean, it's nothing like a loyal black woman. For me, I'm gonna be real with you. I want love. All everybody wants love. Do we really want it sometimes? I think we say it more than we really want it because we want it. But sometimes when opportunity arises, we back out because we're afraid of it. Because a lot of times we haven't seen it. That's how some people probably feel. But for me, man, I need loyalty. At the end of the day, you know, I want you to love me. But if you're loyal to me, you only being with me. You're not messing with nobody else but me. Um, you got my back. Anything I'm trying to do, you loyal to me till death do us part. I'm sorry, loyalty is fading these days. If you look at it, the greatest empire, the greatest leaders, a lot of times had loyalty, man. And somebody who wasn't loyal to me, they fell. Um, I always tell brothers, y'all out here looking for these women rappers these days who ain't really got much to offer, but shoot, y'all need to be looking for a Betty Shabazz. Cause that sister was loyal to Malcolm to the end. And look, even till today, she's still carrying on Malcolm's legacy. That's loyalty right there. I know love is important, but I want that loyalty. And she loved that brother, so that's a great example there too. But at the same time, she was loyal to that brother. Coretta Scott King, she was loyal to MLK. You know, even when the FBI was terrorizing him, she still stood by that man. Think about that. Um, Amy Garvey was loyal to Marcus Garvey. She had his back. She helped preserve his legacy. So think about what matters. Do you want somebody who's gonna help preserve your legacy, or do you want somebody who's just gonna love you? Oh, she loves you, but she ain't really loyal. She floats around, but she loves you. Or do you want somebody who's like, hey, I got your back. They come trying to kill you, I got you, man. That's some deep stuff that honestly, I think we all want. All brothers should want. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna take loyalty for now. But again, I've never been in love, so I can't really speak on that part. But I will tell you, loyalty, man. I see my mom been loyal to my dad. Somebody ever comes from my dad, my mom right there ready to knock him loose. Ain't nothing like that family. Sorry, so I need that loyalty. Another question is pressure of expectations for black men. That's a good one. As black men, we got a lot of expectations on us, but I think black men, the most misunderstood people in America. Um, I'm gonna say this. Probably some of y'all gonna give me flack back, but I mean we can debate this in another episode. I also believe we going through the most oppression in America, and that's because there's been a war specifically raged on the black man for years now, and about 60 plus years, and a lot of people don't see it, but you know we gotta understand that the expectations for black men has always stayed the same. The stand for black men always stayed the same. I remember a brother told me this on live, and he was thinking, he's like, brothers are still expected to provide, protect, lead, do all of that for the community and for black women. And again, I don't see nothing wrong with that. But you know, our expectations have stayed the same despite what's been happening to us. I think I saw a statistic: 50% of black men go to college, but only 12% have a bachelor's degree. You understand? So in that terms, we going to college like crazy, but we barely getting a degree. Um, Most brothers grow up without a father in the household, and we're not out here playing what they call oppression Olympics. I'm not here saying we go through more than sisters, but I'm out here saying that we go through some stuff that a sister can't attest to that. She can't say that she didn't. Most of us can't say they didn't grow up with their mom. They got that same sex teaching them how to be, a woman. As men, we don't get that. We boys aren't being taught how to be men. We just being left in the boy state. You got 40-year-old boys roaming around here because they don't got a dad. So the expectations for black men stay the same, but a lot of people haven't seen that so many circumstances have affected us to where a lot of us can't meet expectations. How you gonna expect a brother to lead when he never seen a black man ever lead? How you gonna expect a brother to provide when he don't know how to provide? How you gonna expect a brother to stand up when he's seen black men shot, killed over years? He's afraid to stand up. Breaking a black man, that's something strong, and that's what the white man's typically done. So we're really in a hole right now. So the expectation for black men has never changed, and I think that there has to be a serious analysis on why our brothers aren't performing as well as we can, and what we can do to move up. But you know, in terms of dating wise, everybody got expectations, everybody got standards. I believe in standard expectations, but at the same time, character wise, those are important always. Never change the standards of somebody's character. But in terms of though, like a brother not being financially right at the time, or you expecting him to have all this, all that, you gotta keep in mind he's a black man in America. It's difficult for him to get hired. All the stereotypes. Difficult for him to even make it home sometimes. And I'm not saying it's not difficult for the sisters, but hey, you know, you a black man. They know that you got so much potential on that throne, but they don't want you to get to it. So they trying to take you out. So there's a lot of pressure on black men. We don't talk about it a lot of times because we're men. A black man, we don't want to talk about it, and that's another issue. Black men need to talk about their problems more, but specifically the other brothers who go through it, so we can move out of the unit. And things like that. That's what we need more of, in that essence. The last question is, and this is a great question: how can we get a Hebrew Israelite, a Muslim, and a Christian, and a Pan African to work together? First of all, let's maybe make a distinction. People talk about Pan African in a weird way. Being a Pan African has no religious sect on it. So in all essence, honestly, a Hebrew Israelite, a Moor, a Christian, a Muslim, whatever, everybody should be Pan African, because Pan African has no religion on it. Recently, people been the definition of Pan African has been really destroyed lately. Honestly, if you pull up on the social media, because people are here talking about Pan African, Kemet this, Kemet that. Oh, and he did say a person believes a Pan African Kemet person, all that. Listen, all that ain't got nothing to do with Pan African. Pan Africanism is the belief that all black people are unified through a common ancestry and cultural ancestry to the motherland. Period, point blank. Ain't got nothing to do with your religion. Ain't got nothing to do with your belief system, anything like that. We about the African culture. And before you talk about African spirituality, anything like that, be quiet and listen to the fact that African spirituality is numerous. There's over 10,000 types of African spiritual systems. Probably well over at least 10,000, because over 10,000 tribes in Africa. There's over I think there's over 500 tribes in Nigeria alone, if I'm correct. So before you start talking about African spirituality, understand that African spirituality is not just no Ifa oracle. The Yoruba religion is not the Kemet religion. People out here, they're beginning to generalize African spirituality when it's not the same. All that chakra stuff, that's not us, number one. So if you're doing that chakra stuff, that's Asian culture for you, number one. Number two, if you're out here just doing Kemet, it's very funny because number one, you don't even know your own ancestry. And not all African tribes came out of Egypt, which a lot of people fail to understand. I talk to people who say, listen, my tribe had nothing to do with Egypt. My tribe, the Hazagwari tribe, they're said to have come from modern day Saudi Arabia. And we know that those people there are black. We're black back then. Let's just clarify that. All right. That whole Middle East region was black. All right. We know this. Okay. Before we get in debate about that. But the point I'm trying to make is you can't make it seem like all black people just came out of Egypt. Because that's nowhere near true. There are African spiritual systems, all over the place. So before you say that, stop saying that, oh, y'all need to do the ancient Kemet stuff. Oh, Africa is matriarchal. That stuff is not true. You cannot generalize an entire continent. They're talking. I remember I heard an elder, and I respect them. I heard a speaker talking about we never gave our women to men in terms of arranged marriages. But that is very African. I'm sorry to say. Fathers giving their daughters as a bride to another tribe or another leader, that's as African as it gets. Like, for Pete's sake, I think the Swazi king even gave a daughter to Shaka Zulu. I read up on once. This is very African. People really do that a lot. They often give their daughter to another person in Africa. That did happen a lot back then. I think it even still happens till today. So again, before we talk about one society, let's not generalize an entire continent. Number two, religion, Christianity, Islam. We can go in this debate. All that came from Africa. Just stop. I was reading up in the Bombard religion where they literally had a whole Noah and the Ark situation where God flooded the earth and wiped out people. Let's please again. Let's not get into this mindset of consolidating African spiritual systems and stuff. Okay, so that's why I had to get out the way because I've been feeling about that. All this emphasis on Egypt. We need to emphasize the entire Africa and stop consolidating it. Okay. Um, in terms of religion, I believe in the Bible. I wouldn't really call myself fully a Christian. I don't celebrate Christmas, for example, because the Bible said not to. Easter technically is not even in the Bible either. So again, in terms of the whole Easter bunny thing, that stuff is not biblically correct. That's why I say I go by the Bible. That's what I believe to be my truth. Okay, at the end of the day, that's what I believe to be my truth. And if a brother feels the Quran, which I believe also has a lot of truth in it too, is their truth, I'm not gonna hate on it. Because if you look at it, all these books are low key interwoven. And if you look at it, a lot of them have similarities to African spirituality. And we can get into that. African religions, rather, because people out here talking about spirituality, and Africa has religions with strict guidelines. Just because you have religion don't mean you need a book. You still have morals and strict guidelines within that religion. So I stay trying to tell people, like, people don't understand. They get hooked up on this other thing of spirituality, and I get that Christianity has spirituality in it, the Bible has spirituality in it, yes, but it has to be guiding principles, and people they fell out of that. Another thing in terms of a more Hebrew Israelite, listen, we get them all in the room by telling them we have a greater enemy than our different ideologies. Okay, I always tell people about the 1884 Berlin Conference where European nations got together and split up the continent we know today as Africa. It was the Portuguese, the French, the British, the Italians, the Germans. Um, this even Spain was there. All these countries came together, sat at a table, and divided an entire continent for themselves. And they were not all um, Protestant. You know, we know that France and we know that Italy are primarily Catholic nations. We know Portugal, if I'm correct, is primarily Catholic nation. That's why they Catholicized modern day Angola. We know that Britain has a Church of England. We know that German they're big in Lutheranism. We know that they were not all on the same religious belief, but they all understood one thing: white supremacy, and they used that to divide an entire continent. But here we have Moors, Hebrew Israelites, Pan Africanists, which technically should be everybody in that term and sense. Um, People who identify as Christian, Muslim, all that, going head to head. And it's not, I don't really see that much of any Christianity with going against Islam anymore. I see a lot of people personally, from my standpoint, who believe in the Bible or believe in African religions coming and fighting each other, one trying to convince the other. Usually, from my standpoint, it's always people like, "Our religion is no good," this, that, and that, third. At the end of the day, y'all need to stop saying y'all want to deal with certain people because of their spiritual and belief system. That's why we get nowhere. Again, that's why all this conscious stuff we talk about, it's not gonna mean nothing if you can't have some level of unity. That's why I always say a conscious community. I'm not talking about the brother out there don't got nothing want to do with black people. I'm talking about conscious black people. And before people talk about, oh, you can't be conscious and be a Christian, you can most definitely be conscious and be a Christian and follow the Bible. You can most definitely be conscious and be a Muslim. Okay? Because you can still understand the works of white supremacy, what white supremacy is about, and still have your own religion. And before you say that religion came from the white man, do your history. That's all I'm going to say. Do your history. Because black people were at the founding of all those religions. Yes, Islam and Christianity. If you do your history, you will see it there. They were in the inner works of it. So, before we get into this whole debate, philosophical debate, but we gotta understand we got a common oppressor right now. He's feeding off our disunity in the conscious community, and we don't got time to waste. Put your beliefs aside and get down to the basis. Hebrew Israelite, Moors, all of them understand that black people are oppressed. Even though some don't believe that they have any connection to Africa, which does dumbfound me to a degree. As far as being in America, we know what the black community gotta do. Stop allowing your beefs and your little beliefs to get in the middle of things. We don't got time for that. We don't have time for that. We're 400 years deep. We see what's going on out here, and y'all out here arguing about freaking um if Islam is Arab or not. It's pathetic. It's honestly pathetic at this point. Let people believe in what they believe in. Elijah Muhammad, he spoke power and truth to black people. But y'all gonna disregard him because he's a Muslim? Marcus Garvey was out here. He did the biggest massive black unity movement ever. But y'all gonna disregard him because he's a Christian? We just had Malcolm X Day. But y'all gonna disregard him because he's a Muslim? The logic don't add up. Stop basing your stuff off people's religion and let's just all get together and do this work. Because I'm telling you this right now. The Muslim, the Hebrew Israelite, the Moor, the African religious person, y'all don't know who's going to heaven. To this day, I book about the Bible. I don't know who's going to heaven and who's not. To be technical, we don't. We know if they don't. Now I know if people don't follow the Bible, talking to the Bible specifically, we believe that they're not supposed to go to heaven. But in all honesty, the Bible says you don't know who's going to heaven and who's not. So it's whatever. I don't know if you're going to heaven or not, but you still my brother. And while we're on this earth, we're gonna try to defeat this enemy. This is why black people get nowhere, because we have these dumb, petty beliefs systems. This is exactly why the slave trade happened, because the white man pitted us against each other. We can't be doing this. I know I'm way over 30 minutes right now in this podcast. Please listen to the whole thing if you can, but we can't afford to do this, family. We got bigger fish to fry. And you out here having, some of these YouTube guys, I watch them sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, but they have these religious debates. It's counterproductive. That Hebrew Israelite out there, man, he got a lot to offer the world. But you right now, they people out here entertaining off it. People out here entertaining off the black more. We don't got time for that right now, family. We gotta get this work in. So before we, complain about what the white man doing, unify amongst yourself to a degree. Again, I don't care what sect you belong to. If you about producing black families, you about standing up and protecting the black community and about bringing back our traditional moral and values, which I believe are from Africa. But if you say it's not from Africa, it's from this, that, and the third. Honestly, I don't got time to argue. I'm gonna just say, hey, as long as you down with the stuff, don't really care. We can get somewhere. But stop all this disunity stuff. It's counterproductive. That's why we get nowhere in the black community. Nowhere. 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 And when I say conscious people, with all due respect, I'm talking about those with, again, in a while more Hebrew Israelite, 5% Nation too. They're very important. 5% Nation practically influenced conscious hip hop. Like, we could have gotten nowhere without the 5% Nation with that. Honestly, big ups to them and other things, right? That's how we gotta do. Now, with all due respect, if you're part of the Aboriginal community, brothers and sisters who believe that black people are indigenous to America, I'm gonna be real. From what I understand, you guys don't even identify as conscious or even black. So, to be honest, that group ain't even really in the inner works, because you guys don't consider yourself conscious. So, again, I encourage everybody not to go in debates with those groups, because that's, again, counterproductive. If that's how you feel, though, I respect you, and I will still respect you as my brother or sister, if you claim to be my brother or sister. But yeah, that's just how I feel on that question. That was a long question, but that's probably the most important question of the time, because again, that refers back to the first question: what we're gonna be like next 30 years. We as conscious people have to unify, and what I said will come to fruition, which will be a good thing. So that's all I got for you guys today. Stay safe. Hope you guys had a great Malcolm X Day this week, or this past week. I don't know when this episode's gonna be aired, but I do know I record this episode on the 21st of May. But I hope y'all are staying safe, and yeah, we're gonna come out with more and more content. Stay tuned, family. We just starting for this summer. We're gonna come out ready, so stay tuned. Hotep, family.